In the heart of Point Pleasant, West Virginia, a small town nestled beside the winding Ohio River, an ominous shadow loomed. For weeks, strange occurrences had gripped the townspeople, filling their lives with fear and uncertainty. Whispers of a mysterious creature, the Mothman, circulated like wildfire, and many believed it to be a harbinger of doom. The first sighting occurred on a chilly autumn evening when two young couples, Roger and Linda and Steve and Mary, decided to drive out to an abandoned munitions factory known as the TNT area for an evening of exploration. The factory was now a labyrinthine maze of decaying buildings, overgrown weeds, and rusted machinery. As they ventured deeper into the compound, their flashlights revealed a sense of desolation. Strange scuttling noises echoed through the darkness, and a foul metallic smell hung in the air. Despite their unease, the thrill of adventure pushed them forward. Suddenly, they heard a low, haunting screech that seemed to come from the shadows. The noise grew louder and more frenzied, and as they turned their flashlights toward it, their blood ran cold. A monstrous figure, looming over 7 feet tall, stood before them. The Mothman was a grotesque creature with immense, leathery wings that spanned 12 feet. Its body was a twisted, grayish-black form, and its eyes glowed with an otherworldly crimson light. It stared at them with an intensity that sent shivers down their spines. In a panic, they scrambled to their car and sped away from the TNT area. The Mothman followed them, effortlessly keeping pace with their vehicle, its red eyes piercing the darkness like burning coals. As they reached the outskirts of town, the creature suddenly vanished into the night, leaving the young couples terrified and shaken. News of the encounter spread like wildfire, and soon, Point Pleasant was gripped by a collective paranoia. The Mothman became an ever-present specter, appearing to individuals in terrifying encounters that defied explanation. Mary, one of the witnesses from that fateful night, couldn't escape the Mothman's haunting gaze. She was plagued by vivid nightmares in which the creature beckoned to her, drawing her closer to the edge of madness. She became consumed by an obsession to uncover the truth behind the Mothman's existence. One evening, as she delved into research on the phenomenon, she stumbled upon a local legend, a Native American story that spoke of a winged creature that appeared as a warning before great disasters. This legend only deepened her unease as the sightings continued to escalate. Tales of the Mothman's appearances became more frequent and disturbing. It was spotted perched atop the Silver Bridge that connected Point Pleasant to Ohio, causing traffic jams and terrified onlookers. Whispers of tragedy swirled through the town like a dark omen. Then, on a cold winter evening, tragedy struck. The Silver Bridge collapsed without warning, plunging cars and their occupants into the icy waters of the Ohio River. The disaster claimed the lives of 46 people, leaving the town devastated. Mary couldn't help but wonder if the Mothman had truly been a harbinger of doom, or if it was merely a bizarre coincidence. The disaster left the town of Point Pleasant in mourning, enshrouded in a heavy, suffocating atmosphere of fear and superstition. In the wake of the disaster, witnesses came forward with chilling stories. Many claimed to have seen the Mothman on the bridge just moments before its collapse, perched on the guardrails as if watching the impending tragedy. The cryptic creature's role in the catastrophe remained an unsettling mystery. As the months passed, the Mothman sightings continued, each encounter more terrifying than the last. Some witnesses reported strange premonitions, as if the creature warned of impending disasters. Others were haunted by nightmares and visions of catastrophe. Mary's obsession deepened, and she began to suspect a connection between the Mothman and the disasters that had plagued the town. She believed that the creature was trying to communicate a warning, but its cryptic nature made it difficult to decipher its intentions. She reached out to John, a local journalist who had been covering the Mothman phenomenon since its inception. John was initially skeptical but couldn't ignore the mounting evidence and the toll the sightings had taken on the town. Together, they embarked on a journey to uncover the truth behind the Mothman. Their investigation led them to an old, reclusive man named Walter, who claimed to have knowledge of the Mothman's origins. Walter had lived in Point Pleasant for decades and had been a witness to the original TNT area sighting in the 1960s. He revealed a chilling tale of government experiments gone awry. According to Walter, the TNT area had once been the site of secret military tests, and the Mothman was the result of a genetic mutation experiment. The creature had somehow escaped captivity and roamed the town, carrying the weight of the terrible knowledge of the impending disasters. Walter's story added a new layer of complexity to the mystery, suggesting that the Mothman was not merely a supernatural entity, but a creation of human folly. If the creature had indeed been an experiment, what had triggered its emergence? And why did it appear to those who were destined to experience disaster? As Mary, John, and Walter delved deeper into their investigation, they uncovered a pattern of events that sent chills down their spines. The Mothman appeared before tragedies, not causing them, but serving as an eerie witness to their impending occurrence. The town's paranoia intensified as the Mothman's appearances became more frequent, often coinciding with natural disasters, accidents, and even outbreaks of violence. The cryptic creature's message, if there was one, remained enigmatic, and the townspeople couldn't escape the feeling that it was tied to their collective fear and suffering. Then, one fateful night, Mary received a cryptic message in her dreams. The Mothman beckoned her to meet him at the old TNT area, the site of the creature's first sighting. Mary, driven by a sense of duty and an unshakable curiosity, decided to follow the dream's eerie call. John and Walter accompanied Mary to the TNT area, where they were met by a thick fog that obscured their vision. As they ventured deeper into the abandoned factory, They felt an oppressive presence, as if the very air itself had come alive with a sense of foreboding. The Mothman materialized before them, its eyes burning with an intensity that defied understanding. It did not attack, but rather seemed to implore them to listen and understand. Mary, trembling with fear, took a step forward and whispered, "What do you want from us?" The Mothman's response came not in words, but in a series of vivid, haunting images that flooded Mary's mind. She saw scenes of destruction and chaos, natural disasters and human suffering. The message was clear. The Mothman was a sentinel of tragedy, a witness to the world's impending descent into chaos. As Mary conveyed the message to John and Walter, they realized that the Mothman was not a creature to be feared, but a tragic figure burdened with a terrible knowledge. It appeared before disasters, not as a cause but as a warning, a manifestation of the world's impending turmoil. For more scary horror stories, please subscribe.